What a freaking mess. Nothing like having 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bucket. That's what I feel like out here. This little 1-car garage. It can be a headache. But, alas, here we are. Back out in the garage to get a little more stuff done. So, I think today I'm going to go ahead and, I got a couple little things to do inside the car. I got two, I'll go ahead and open it up and show you. I got brackets. I got tabs that I weld onto the bar back there, and then a bracket that goes to the seat to keep the seat mounted firmly to the roll cage. I gotta install that, and then I got a shifter mount that I'll show you that I gotta get mounted and get the shifter mounted to it, and the cable ran to the outside of the car. And then I gotta weld the fitting, or whatever you want to call it, the adapter that snaps into this on to the steering tube here, so that we can steer the car. And yeah, so that's a couple things I need to do. And so I think I'll start with that, get that stuff knocked out, and little by little, guys, we'll get there. So let's go ahead and get started. The oil pans turned out really good. I like it. I think it turned out pretty sharp. So, all right, guys, let's get started. Also wanted to tell you guys I ordered a ATI super damper. So that's on its way. Coming from Canada though, so it might take a couple days. But yeah, we got that on the way. So we'll try to keep this thing together at high RPMs. All right, let's get started. All right, guys. I got her painted up. Like I said in the other video, I was over the blue. It just clashed too much with the car, or the red car. But see a couple places I got to touch up, but I got it covered pretty good. I think it looks a lot sharper with the black instead of the faded blue. Yeah, looks pretty good that way, guys. So I think we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna set the blue valve cover on there and see kind of what it looks like, and that way I'll know if I need to go ahead and repaint the valve cover and the front cover too. Definitely gonna do the front cover. I'm gonna do something with that, but valve covers, I'm not sure. We'll have to figure that out. But all right, guys, that's where the base plate's gonna go. And then you can see over there, I got the shifter mounted to the top plate. Alright, guys, so anyways, what I was saying is I'm going to drill the 4 holes there where that mount is, and then I got the shifter mounted to the other mount there, and that tube will slide right into that tube. I'll mark how high I want it and what angle I want it, and then I can just put a couple tack welds on there, or I can drill that hole right there, or do a through bolt there, so I can make it removable, easily removable without unbolting it. So I'll probably do that. I'll just drill 1 hole right through it, do a through bolt, and then I'll be done with it. So let's go ahead and get that spot drilled on the 4 bolts there, and then we'll come right back. All right, guys, I got it there temporarily. I think I'm going to keep it right there. I have to get 1 more bolt in the mount there, but it's about how it's going to be, sitting right there. So I think that'll work out really nice. Get it up high enough where it's not too low. Get a little angle on it, and it'll be nice and ready to go. So next thing I'll have to do is get the cable on and drill a hole, run the cable down into the trans tunnel. So we'll go ahead and do that next. Alright guys, so here's the original front cover that we've been running on the car. But there was an issue with this timing cover that we kind of just band-aided for the meantime. But we broke down and just got a replacement front cover. And like I was saying, I was going to get away from the blue. And this is what we went with. This is a hammer tone paint. So if you look at it, it kind of looks like it's been hammered. It covers up a lot of imperfections. It's a nice, thick, kind of lacquer-based paint. It gives it a pretty cool look. But the issue was, I guess it would be right here. This nub right here, where the idler pulley goes, this stub shaft here, the pulley, the bearing sits down on that. Well, this stub shaft had broke off on that other valve or front cover, and I had JB welded it back on there, and it was half-ass on there. It still worked fine, and the bearing turned in the idler pulley and everything, but I didn't want to have it come apart and have it, mess something up. So I got another front cover, used one, soaked it in the mineral spirit tank for a couple days and scrubbed it nice and clean, and then primed it and painted it with this hammer tone. This is what I used. Rust-Oleum. See if I can get it to focus. Matte hammered. And that's the color that it shows on the cap. And then that's the color it came out. So it came out pretty close. So I thought it turned out pretty cool. So I might set it on the engine and see what it's going to look like. But we got that. So, and then here, as you can see, there's, something a little different there. Decided to do the engine bay black as well. So obviously the cars are red, and the red just didn't look good. I guess this is the best way to put it. And it's a different red to begin with. It didn't look very good, so I started painting it black, and I think it blends in better, and it covers imperfections in the engine bay, as far as the metal and different holes and stuff. It just looks better, I think. So I wrapped up my harness in painter's tape and masked off everything, and got 2 coats of black and then 2 coats of clear on it. Just rattle can paint and clear, but I still got to do this other side, so I gotta wrap up all the wiring that I don't want to get painted, and anything else that I want to keep from getting paint on, and do this other side. So, but you can see, and paint that intercooler too. Put this light coat of black on it, because my dad was over here painting away, and as you can see, he got red over on everything. So, but once I get this painted, I could finish wrapping all these harnesses up and get them cleaned up, making them look nice. So, as you can see here, I got the shifter mounted both to the floor and then both to the bracket, and I got the cable ran down underneath the car. And then over here, you can see I got the bracket welded to the roll cage, and then to the the seat itself. So I'll go around there. That seat is solid, and that thing, once you get bolted in there, that thing ain't moving. I need to vacuum up all the aluminum shavings from when I had to drill for the bracket into the seat. So, but I'll go over there and show you. So there you can see it. See the bracket right there is one on each side, and then it's bolted to the seat. And this thing, I mean, this thing is solid. I could shake the whole damn car if I could do it without shaking the camera. But then I also got, see if I can get you in there and show you. That's how the inside seat belt is mounted to the car. There's a 4" by 4" square plate underneath on the back side of the sheet metal underneath the car, and then that eye bolt threads through it, and nuts on the back side of that. So that's finished. There's a side shot of that shifter. Well, there it is, kind of mocked up on the front cover. Obviously I got to touch up that valve cover there in the front where I had knocked the powder off it when I was powder coating by accident. But I think it looks pretty good. I think it'll look, once you get the intake and everything put on there and cleaned up and painted, and I think that'll look really good. So we will probably stick with the blue and just redo it, get it touched up, get it looking good, and I think I'll be happy with that. So we'll know more when we get it sat in the car in the black engine bay. I think it'll look even better. So I'm happy with that. Wanted to touch base with you at where we're at, what we're waiting on. The ATI damper, ordered it from Canada. I think I told you that. It's been sitting at the customs border, either on Canada's side or on the United States side for, I don't know, it's been there for like 6 or 7 days. So I don't know, hopefully it'll show up soon enough, but you know, that's not really holding us up. I can put that on later on, no big deal. But you saw in the earlier footage, I got 2 secondary timing chains, the billet oil pump housing, 90mm throttle body, and both passenger and driver side secondary timing chain tensioners from Accufab. So a little backstory on that. I decided that we needed to put better secondary timing chains on it, and at least a passenger side secondary tensioner, because like I said, the stock stuff is pretty weak, and you're just better off when you're spending a lot of RPM to put a little better stuff on there so you don't, end up grenading your motor. So what happened was I posted a question on a Facebook group asking if MMR's secondary timing chains were the same as the Accufab secondary timing chains. Basically, is it worth the money to buy the Accufab chains over the MMRs? Because Accufab chains are a little bit more money. And that's all I wanted to know. I was just curious, are they the same chain? If they are, no reason to spend more money than I have to. So, I got a lot of responses. People, anywhere from, I think they're the same chain. I'm not 100% sure. To they're different chains. Accufab's better. To fucking don't ever spend any money at MMR. Their shit's junk. And basically, I responded with I wouldn't let MMR touch my shit, but the parts, some of the parts are okay. But a lot of their shit, they copy other people's stuff and resell it for cheaper. They make inferior parts and try to pump them as the best thing since fucking sliced bread for the mod motor and that type of shit. Anyways, I was going back and forth with a couple guys on that post, and all of a sudden, John from Accufab, the owner of Accufab, responds and made a comment along the lines of, do you expect Accufab to drop their prices and make an inferior part so that they can be in the same price range as other companies and that type of stuff? And I responded simply with, no, I wouldn't expect you to have to drop your prices just to match another company's price. I realized that you were the creator of this tensioner, and you put the R&D into it, and you should be able to recoup your money. I'm not expecting you to lower your prices or none of that stuff. I was just curious if they were the same part. And we kind of go back and forth a little bit, kind of tongue in cheek. And I basically told him, this is a father-son project. This car is my dad's car. He's funding it. It's his money that he's putting into it. And all I'm doing is building the thing and driving it. And I told him, I said, my dad's retired from Ford Motor Company, and he lives on a pension, so he gets one check a month. It's a fixed income. He gets the same amount every month, and that's it. When that money's gone, that's it. So he has a set amount that he can put into the car, and it's usually around $600 a month that he wants to put into the car. And I told him that. I said, I got $600 a month that he wants to put into the car, and if I want to be able to get the car put back together and race it this year, I can't buy the best of the best on everything that I need, because it'll be a couple years before I can afford to buy everything the best of the best. So I gotta, not cut corners, but I gotta, try to find the least expensive quality components to be able to get this thing together and race it this year. And he responds back with, hey, call me tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay. So I called him the next day, and we talked on the phone for a good half hour. He wanted to hear my story and what we were doing with the car and that type of stuff, and I told him. And he said, look, he says, I'm going to cut you, I think his exact words are, I'm going to cut you a coronavirus deal or something along those lines. And he said, I'll do both the passenger and driver side timing chain tensioners, secondary tensioners, a pair of secondary timing chains, a billet backing plate for the oil pump, and a one of his 90 millimeter throttle bodies. And he said, I'll do all that for $600. I was like, wow. If you price that shit on his website, retail, that's almost $1,500 worth of shit. And he said, I'll do it for $6. Sorry guys, I got a little phlegm in my throat. And we were just blown away. Like, wow, man, we're talking, fucking 60% off retail, 65% off retail. And so obviously I jumped right on that. $600 for damn near $1,500 worth of parts. Yeah, I'll do that any day of the week. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is because, one, it says a lot about a company. Two, basically I was calling, in a roundabout way, I was questioning whether or not Accufab was worth the extra money. I didn't come out and say it like that, but that's basically what I was asking, in a roundabout way. Is it worth the extra money to get Accufab over MMR or Cobra Engineering or whatever XYZ brand? And he came out after that going back and forth stuff and wanted me to contact him. And then when I did contact him, he comes out and offers me a fucking sweetheart deal. I mean, that just says a lot about a company. For one, John himself is a man. I mean, somebody questioning your company and the pricing and all that shit, and you still come out and offer him a hell of a deal. I mean, that just says a lot about Accufab and John himself. So, I couldn't say more about the guy. He's just an awesome dude. Like I said, we talked on the phone for a good half hour, just talking about mod motor shit and racing and that type of stuff, and it was a pretty cool experience. And if you don't know, John at Accufab, the owner of Accufab, is like one of the godfathers of drag racing mod motors. He was one of the first, if not the first, to get a 4.6 mod motor based engine into the 5s in a quarter mile. Obviously, that's in a pro mod car, with a mod motor with the best of the best in it, making probably 2,500, 3,000 horsepower. But, he knows his shit when it comes to mod motor. He built some of the baddest mod motors there is. So, what he says, you don't take lightly. It's coming from experience. He's been there and done that before. So yeah, that stuff just showed up. And stuff looks awesome, so we can get this bad boy. Well, almost. I got the oil pump, the billet oil pump gears will be here. They're supposed to be here Monday. Today's Saturday. So they should be here come Monday, and then we can get them swapped out and the oil pump, put that back on, do the timing chain, tensioners and all the chains and all that shit, get that thing put together. And then at that point we can put the trans and the engine together and throw it in the car. I got to finish painting the engine bay and stuff, but we're getting close to getting it set in the car. So yeah, I'm not gonna tell you guys where to buy your parts from. It's your guys' hard-earned money. You spend it wherever you feel like it's you want to spend it. If you want to chase a deal, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what I probably would have done. On the chains, if I was told they were the same, I would have went the cheaper route. But if I were told they were different, I would have still got John's chains, but I would have got the tensioners elsewhere. That's just a fact. Would have bought the chains from Accufab and got the tensioners somewhere else. But the way it worked out, I was able to get everything from Accufab for a hell of a deal, and and everybody was happy. So I recommend if you want to get mod motor parts and you want the best of the best, Accufab, hands down. There's no other company they can compare. The guy makes his shit right in house, right in California. Excuse me. And he makes top quality stuff. It's the best of the best. So highly recommend John at Accufab. So if you're needing mod motor parts, he doesn't make a ton of stuff, but if you need timing chains, tensioners, throttle bodies, they make all that shit. Billet, oil pump gears, the backing plate for the pump, billet. They just make all kinds of stuff for the mod motor. You can go right on their website, and I think it's AccufabRacing.com. And it might just be Accufab.com. I don't know. Either way, just Google it. You can find it. Pretty easy. So they got a lot of good shit, and it's worth taking a look at. So this is something I'd share with you guys. But I'm gonna finish this video today, and come Monday when we get the oil pump gears in, we'll get them thrown in, and I'll get a video up showing that, swapping the gears over, putting the billet backing plate on it, getting it mounted back on the motor. getting the cams degreed in again. I'll make sure my camera actually doesn't cut off like it did on the last time, and we should be good to go. So yep, stay tuned, guys. Like, subscribe. I appreciate every time you guys hit that like button and subscribe button. It just keeps motivation going to keep doing videos. So, but we'll catch you on the next one, guys. All right, stay safe out there.